Alright guys, welcome back to video 3. Today in this video we are just talking about the plates. So in the last video where we left off in video 2, I said that we were going to cut out the plates and then we were going to come back. So I did that. I went ahead and I cut out these two pieces here, one for the top of the wall and one for the bottom of the wall for my plates. And now what we need to do is we're going to put them together and we're going to mark them out so that we know exactly where everything goes in the plates. I've got two for the left wall, two for the right wall, and I've got two for the center wall. I'm going to bring you in a little bit closer. Let's move the 2x4s out of the way for a minute. And let's take a look at how to mark out plates. So actually we need to bring you back just a little bit so that you can see the whole wall all at once. Now what we're going to do is line these plates up with the edge of the wall. I typically will do this at the base of the wall, but for the camera we're going to do this here in the center. It's more accurate at the bottom of the wall or the top of the wall. And so what I normally need to do is we're going to take both of these pieces, the top and bottom together, and we're going to hold them together. We're going to squeeze them together, lining it up on one side, and then we're going to transfer all of the marks. So this line here needs to be transferred up here. And we've got that line transferred. And if you're not quite sure, what you can do is you can, use a little stick to help make it a little more accurate. I can hold this here and kind of line up and eyeball where everything needs to go using this little stick. There's a lot of different little tricks that you guys might come up with. So here I'm going to lay it right on there, and then standing back behind it, I can eyeball where that's going to go. So, a lot of little tricks like that. So, come back over here, and then that one wasn't a very accurate line. Just erase that one line. That was not in the right spot. So as we go through and we mark all of these lines, think about what it is you're marking. We're going to come back and actually put a note on it for what it is. I'll show you how to do that as well. And this is just the way you would build a normal size house. You should have already watched the Larry Hahn video on framing walls. And in Larry's video, Larry shows you guys how to lay out all these plates on an actual house. Does it with a big crayon. We call it a keel. It's a big crayon we use for framing. So, okay, so we have all the vertical lines lined out on here. Now what we need to do is we need to mark out what each of these are. So this first one is a full-length stud. So what we're going to do is on each piece we put an X. Okay? This one's a stud, so we put an X from corner to corner on the top and the bottom plate. You're going to have an X. Here, this is a king stud. This is not a normal stud, so we're going to put a K in that box. That tells us that next to it, it should have a jack stud or a tremor stud. So you're putting a J or a T. And then this is the opening side, so I put a line here to the opening. Here goes the opposite direction. And this is a jack and a king. Okay? Let me bring you in a little closer so you can see that. We can refocus on that. So here, you can see we have the two corner studs, the jack and the king. We come down on the other side of the opening. We have the jack and the king in the opposite direction. And then here, this is where we have our window. So these two here make the window. So again, this is going to be a king stud, a jack stud, then we have a jack stud, and two king marks. Now, in addition to that, this is going to be the opening Oh, I marked it wrong. Nope, there's no opening where there's kings. This is why it's really important to do it on your drawing. Okay, the opening is from the jack stud this way. So this is the window opening here. Then we come down to the end, and we just have simply 3 studs all next to each other, top and bottom. So when you finish doing this, you're going to end up marking out all of your plates. Go ahead and mark out your bottom plates for the 2 other small walls, and they should just have X's in them. And when they're all finished, you should have the marks for top and bottom, which will help you figure out how to line up your studs all the way up and down so that everything ends up staying nice and straight and square in the walls. Okay?